Okay, so welcome to Program 9. Program 9 is introducing loops for the first time. So this is a little bit more complicated and also a very important part of programming. So we're just going to start a new project. Of course, this is going to be Program 9 iGCSE. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to use a new object that you probably haven't used before. It's called the list box. I'm going to make it nice and big. We're going to give it a name, list, and then we're going to call it lines, as you can see from the task that's asked for you in program number 9, lines, and then we're going to have a button at the top which is going to trigger the code. Nice big button. I'm going to call that CMD do lines. That's what I'm going to call it. I'm going to change what's written on there. Sorry, just need to click on that. Do my lines. So this is the computer doing your lines as your punishment at school. Right. So it says here, the first thing I'm going to do is look at the code. So it asks you to take, you should be told what you have to write in the line and how many times. So I'm going to do dim. So the first thing we need to do is run the code. So first thing I'm going to do is dim count as integer. Dim line text as string. So I'm going to then now ask the computer to get those values. So line text is equal to input box brackets. Please enter your line once. And then I'm going to say count is equal to input box brackets. How many lines do you have to do? Question mark. Close quotes brackets. So now I've got two values, but there's one problem, and if you remember this from earlier on, an input box will only give you a string back, so we should wrap this in val. That basically turns a string into a number if the properties match. So if you type the number 6 in, it will turn it into a number. Good. So now we're ready to go and loop. So we say for. Now, here we should have an extra new variable, and this is the count loop. Maybe loop counter is a nicer. So it's going to say for loop counter is equal to 1, 2, count lst lines dot. Remember this? This was the list box that we created. Items dot add brackets line text. So let's just explain this line of code. So we create our variables, which is normal, and we've done that many times. This line of code then asks you to put your line in, and it puts it into this variable. Then it asks you how many times you want to do that line, and puts it into this variable. And this variable says here, start the loop counter at 1 and continue until it reaches this number, which is the amount of lines you have to do. Then it says add a line to the list box this time. Next goes to the next revolution of this loop. So let's have a look. So it says do my lines. I must do my homework. Okay. How many lines? 5. And it does it 5 times. Very good. Let's run that code again and see how powerful these loops are. So I must concentrate in class. Okay, and I'm going to put 10,000. And I've run that code 10,000 times. There are 10,000 instances of that, and that was done in about a second. Okay, so that's how powerful loops are, and that's the first lesson in loops, program 9.